Welcome back to the Pavilion right here on NBS Sport, where we're all about championing Ugandan sport. Jermine, Egesa, Ian Mutenda, and yourself, who joins us right now as we continue to tackle, well, quite a number of topics under the sun about the beautiful game football, the game we all love. And yes, we also give you headlines from all the other sport as it does come through. All right, when we did take that break, we had spoken. Some of these tenses at times can decide to play a trick on you, especially when you're going a little fast. All right, but yeah, we did speak about the fact that we would be delving into the StarTimes Uganda Premier League, and 4 games are on card. That is for tomorrow. One of those games does have Vipers taking on Lugazi, and both teams, of course, will be out there in the hunt for points. For Vipers, of course, it's to try and make sure that you cannot lose any more points before you face off with NEC, as that blows the title charge wide open. And if there's one thing I am perfectly certain about, Vipers have had plenty enough of those last day dramas. I don't think they want any more as far as the title charge is concerned.
Yeah, I'm sure Vipers want to win this long before the end of the league. They had that season with Caesar Manzoki, where he scored so many goals. They finished it with about 5-6 games to go. That's the kind of season they want. That's the kind of season anyone would want. But we don't always get what we want, unfortunately, and you have a very determined NEC team that are just not allowing them to go. They're going to put them on pressure all the way. If you listen to Hussein Balangu, who has been brilliant this season, very, very good coach, he's getting results. The amount of confidence he has put into that next side, you know they're going to be in this until as close to the end as possible. Vipers, on the other hand, have gone on a very good run. From the very opening game where they lost, they went on this amazing run, especially from the time Coach John Mutenda joined. From the time Coach Ayala and Mohamed started working together as the 2 head coaches, they've been on this unbelievable run all the way through, and finally it did come to an end against SC Villa.
19 games.
19 games. Imagine, I think they had not conceded in a really long time, almost 10 games or something crazy like that. So defensively, they're not giving much away. It's the first goal they had conceded this entire year, and it came to SC Villa. It was always going to be a tough game. Villa had started to pick up some momentum. I was talking about Coach Molly Bekoso being on form, if at all that is possible, but you could see the way he started to get the tactics right in each game he's approaching. So Villa was always going to be a tricky game for Vipers. They just need to think, you know what, we lost one game of football, bounce back, sort it out, bounce back. Any team can have an off day. Vipers did lose that one to the defending champions, a very determined side that wanted to show they're still good enough to compete at that level. And yeah, that game is done. These guys will be thinking, now let's concentrate on getting the 3 points at home under the lights. They'll be thinking they should be able to go there and get the win against Lugazi.
Lugazi, of course, will be no pushovers. The reverse fixture ending in a draw, yeah. Managing to hold them.
A surprise draw at that time, because I remember the draw was early days when people were not really expecting much from Lugazi. It was a team that I think had just lost the opening 2 games. They were not really firing on any level, conceding goals quite a bit. That was before they made the coaching changes, and then things fell into place. It ended 0-0. It was extremely physical. On the day, I remember people watching that game thinking, wow, this is some physical football. It was like, what is going on here? Not so much in terms of goalmouth action, but it was a 0-0 which Lugazi fought for throughout that game. So
to that, we shall have a 4 p.m. kickoff that, for obvious reasons, we cannot really delve much into. The fear is giving away tactics ahead of the game. But yeah, Police FC will play Bright Stars at Kavumba. It's the Kavumba Derby at 4 p.m. Gut instinct, and this has nothing to do with stats, tactics, common sense, but just gut instinct tells me this is going to be a low-scoring game that could be settled as early as the first half, and that will be all that she writes. Ian, any takeaways from this one? I'm looking at this particular game week, and if the great escape has to happen for 2 teams, that's Wakiso Giants, who will be away to Mbale on Saturday, and Bright Stars, it has to start now.
Yeah, the truth is you need to pick up points soon. You're in the business end of the season. The final 10 games, I think, just need to go out there and find a way of bouncing back. The last game was against KCC, which obviously didn't go well at all. So now it's just a case of, go and show your character. You can't lose and not show up and play anything like your real level, and then the next game you do not show a reaction. So all I'm expecting from my boys tomorrow is a very big reaction from the last game, because like I said, the KCC performance was nowhere near the level that you expect. Second half was a bit better, but when you're playing a game like this, when you are at home, when you're playing against an opponent that you're very familiar with, they know a lot about us, we know a lot about them. I think it's just a case of, how do you respond to a poor week, a poor result? And that's the character that I'm expecting to see from those Bright Stars boys tomorrow.
Well, the odds will be stacked heavily against you, because I'm just looking at the stats on the last time Bright Stars beat Police FC. That was in the year 2021, and that was in the Uganda Cup 1-0. But if you're looking at the league, you need to really reel back to 2020 when you won 2-1.
Yeah,
looks like Police.
They did spend 2 seasons in the big league, so a bit skewed in that sense. And then this season, I thought even the draw that happened earlier this season, it was a game that I thought Bright Stars had the edge in terms of the chances and the control of possession. So those fixtures that were on the screen just there, extremely important. But I think it would not make sense for Bright Stars to start thinking about URA or Kiso Lugazi or whichever other games. The most important game is Police.
It's Police.
It's just the game in front of you. You go one game at a time. If you can deal with that, then you start to think about the ones that come after that. Obviously, it's going to be tricky. I think the end of the season for all the teams, I love to see this type of shots, because it looks all nice and stuff, but I think it's all meaningless because it's just one game at a time. Each game also has something different to throw at you. You go into a game and you're like, we could be playing against a team that is competing for something. You could be playing against a team that is on holiday mentally. A team like Maroons might be really excited if they're playing against a team like Express this week with all the problems they have. Like, you do not know what state you'll find a team for all sorts of reasons, because second round, all sorts of things are happening. Drama on and off the pitch and different targets for each particular team. So, it's very tricky, but the only thing you can do is take it one game at a time.
All right, so those are the 2 fixtures that will be on tomorrow in the StarTimes Uganda Premier League. And then later on, of course, we'll have a couple more games that will be coming on Friday and Saturday for this particular match day. That will be match day 22. Season is almost done. Just trying to wrap my head around that. Anyhow, just to remind you, with NBS Sport and MTN together, the vibes are always unstoppable.